We go on to the Class 1 next over the 1650. Citron Spirits heads them here, runner-up on the January Cup last time out. Insatiable takes the drop in class as well, behind Exultant in the Centenary Vase last time. Rise High, Happy Valley for the first time for him, behind Simply Brilliant last time out in November. Super Chic, course and distance winner in November. Literature goes up in class for that big win last time out, beating Red Warrior. Circuit Gloria roll forward from Barrier 2, and Fortune Booth tries the course and distance for the first time, and the class as well for the first time from barrier number 1. As far as Chung Far is concerned, Rise High, Horse of Fortune and Circuit Glory are the horses that have been on the move. All right, as far as the speed is concerned here, Brett, for our 7th, the second of the Class 1s, where do we think it all comes from?
Well, probably Circuit Glory, I would imagine, Andrew. I expect him to kick through and try and hold the lead. I think he'll be able to do so as well. Packing Dragon, I don't think is quite going as well as he can, although we know he's got an outstanding record. The key runner, what does Turin Red Star do? He's had a lot of minor placings this year, very consistent galloper. He is trying the class for the first time, and he's got barrier 10. He's had wide gates at his last 2 and hasn't been far away, so I wonder whether or not he can actually probably get in front of Packing Dragon in the initial stages. If he does, I think that brings him into the race a little bit, and Packing Dragon's caught wide. Rise High is obviously a really classy animal in the race. He ends up maybe back there. Citron Spirit probably should have won last start. We know he'll get back, and Insatiable's got a few little sort of question marks alongside of his name too, with a wider gate to deal with. So I think Circuit Glory is the leader. How it all settles up behind him, I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, there's a little bit of class about this field. Paul, what have you got for us in track work?
We're going to start off with Citron Spirit. Thought it was a really nice run from him last time. He didn't have the light weight, but it was behind Simply Brilliant, behind that previously behind Conti, and he's a horse who's in good form at the moment. He's going really nicely. You can see him there in his track work. Here is Rise High. We haven't seen him for a while. He's racing with a horse called Sari, who is racing later on in this card as well. So you can see Rise High's had a couple of recent trials and he's done very well on them, and he's going nicely. He's won fresh before. And Fortune Booth comes in with a super light weight. He's up in class as Fortune Booth, but you can see the hold he's under as well. So he's another one, an interesting runner who does like Happy Valley.
Up in trip as well, certainly on the radar. Let's start off though with Rise High. There's a fair bit of class about Rise High. He's been off the track for a while though. Let's hear from trainer Casper Fans.
Rise High, Casper, hasn't raced since the end of November. Is there a reason for that?
He was just starting to lose a bit of body weight, leading into his next race, and I just decided to back off him. Spoke to the owners and said, look, I think the right thing to do with the horse is try to send him to China for a little bit and see if we can freshen him up and get some body weight back on him. And it seems to have done the trick. He's gone there and stuck on a nice bit of weight. And so I'm looking forward to having him back to the races.
He's had a couple of trials. He's won them both. Have you been happy with what you've seen there?
Yeah, he's in good form. You know, of course, there's nothing like race fitness. I think the race will strip him to where he should be. But in saying that, he's a happy and healthy horse, and he should certainly make his presence felt.
And one of those barrier trials that he won was at Happy Valley. This is the first time for him there under race conditions. Do you think he'll get around there all okay?
Yeah, he's been around the Valley trials twice, and he's trialled really well there. So it's a good race on the program to start him off with, and then hopefully he can get the job done, and then we'll just get his ratings up and then see where we go from there.
He's 25 pounds heavier than the last time we saw him in November, so the weight is well and truly back on. Looked really good in that trial as well. This is Happy Valley form here behind Simply Brilliant, Citron Spirit, Insatiable and Horse of Fortune.
We touched on this before, Paul. Citron Spirit probably should have won this race.
It was an enormous run, wasn't it? He did carry the light weight, 113 pounds, but this was a Group 3 race, with Simply Brilliant winning it. This is a little bit weaker. He's got to carry the big weight, but, gee, on the back of this, it'd be hard to leave him out. It was a good run.
I just snuck him in for 4th, thank goodness. I've looked down and seen the 1 there, but he's been such a consistent horse. He's been probably one a lot of people have thought got to his mark, and then he just keeps running well. So, yeah, leave him out of your exotics at your own peril, I would have thought.
Simply Brilliant goes around in the Gold Cup this weekend as well, exactly. A Group 1 contest. Yeah. Horse has got a great record at Happy Valley. Is Literature. He's got Turin Red Star in behind here, and his climb up the ratings ladder continues.
He does, yeah. I'm going to actually take a little chance with Literature, because even last season we saw a couple of wins from him that suggested he had a lot of talent. I like the way he won here, defeating Red Warrior. He's going to come in with a lightweight. Turin Red Star's a consistent horse too, who potentially has an awkward barrier, or has an awkward barrier again to deal with. But I'll take a little chance with Literature. I think Rise High's clearly the better horse pound for pound, but Literature's got some race fitness underneath his belt.
Always thought he'd make it to Class 1, and he has now, Literature. I've got him in on a minor line.
All right, OK. But the favourites Rise High on his return.
Yeah, look, his trials at Happy Valley have both been very, very good. And he's got a really good fresh record as well. So I think there's a bit of class about Rise High. He's on top to beat Citron Spirit. A really good run from him last time. Literature in there for third, and Turin Red Stars. He's got that awkward draw, but if he goes forward, he can offset that. 3, 1, 7 and 8.
I had Rise High on top, and then I changed it after listening to that interview with Ed Sadler and Casper Founds, just because Casper pointed out no race fitness there. I know class can take you a long way, and it could well take him to the lead and win the race. I went 7 over 3 just because of a value perspective in the betting, but it could easily be 3 beating 7. 9 Circuit Glory's going as best as I've ever seen him go. He'll run a good race on the lead, and Citron Spirit, like Paul said, hard to leave him out. 7, 3, 9, 1.
I'm a big fan of Rise High, but the way that market looks at the moment, there's some nice horses at some quite nice prices as well. But Class 1 over the 1650, he is our favourite. 2 more races to go, plus all the best bets. That's coming up next.